Hello, in this video we're going to be looking at Pro C2, the new plugin compressor from Fabfilter. Go and check their YouTube channel out, links in the description. And today we're going to be looking into the styles. Now you can see here clean, classic, opto, vocal, mastering, bus, punch and pumping. And we're just going to go into a little bit of depth of just what each one does. It's more of an explanation and then we'll move into more depth in the future. So this is the second video. If you want to see the previous video, the link is in the description to the previous video, just a quick overview of the plugin. So starting with clean. Now clean, classic and opto are from version 1 and then all the rest are kind of new additions. So clean is kind of just a straightforward compressor. It's clean as it suggests, and it's got very low distortion. It's not kind of intrusive, if that's the word to use. Very little harmonic additions. It's more of a kind of just a pickup. It picks up all those little tiny details just like a compressor would do. So that's the clean one. Now classic, you're jumping into kind of like vintage compressors now. It's got a bit of feedback on there, and it's just overall it gives it that vintage sound, like that kind of classic compressor. But as you can see, that is the name. It's a classic. So we'll look into that in a little bit more depth. To be honest, when I've used Pro C version 1, I've just kind of used clean, and that's it. So we'll look into this in a little bit more depth and we'll learn something together. Right, jumping on to Opto. Opto, this is kind of, how to describe this? It's soft and kind of slow approaching, which sounds a bit strange because you can make any of the compressor styles slow approaching, but I think its characteristics, it's kind of its own thing is to be a slower compressor. So I imagine it would be good for maybe pads, strings, that sort of thing. But yeah, again, I haven't really used it, but let's use it in the future and let's see what it does and learn something together. Moving on to vocal. Now we have what is said to be an instant answer to throwing the vocals to the front of the mix. Not over compressing, not making the compression too obvious, but puts it in the place where it needs to be. So it kind of does a bit of the work for you, so you get an idea of where your vocals should be placed and basically show that you're not over compressing anything there. It's quite a nice little style. I've used it very briefly on some vocals that I've been working on from a rapper, and it works pretty well. So we'll look at that. We'll see that video in the future. And it works with an automatic knee in ratio. So you don't have control over this knee or this ratio. You just kind of control the threshold, attack and release. So moving on into mastering. Now mastering is kind of the transparent one. It picks up all the very tiny fine details and you do not know it's there. That's the whole idea. I'm no masterer myself, but we'll look into that and we'll probably export some stems and probably just one mixed down audio file and just see how it performs. So that's something to look forward to. Moving on to bus. Now you can see I'm using bus on this particular part, which is the leads group. So these three here are pushed into one group and it's going through the bus. Now the bus it's like a glue, it's like a gelling compression, so it's good at mixing and blending sounds and making them fit nicer together rather than just hearing them stacked on top of each other. So we'll look in that in more detail, but you can kind of hear what's going on with the synths in the background there. Let's just bypass this. It's just kind of really softening and gluing and just making everything work a little bit nicer together, fit them together like cogs. Right, anyway, moving on is punch. Now punch is probably going to be the best one to do a video on, I think. It's kind of an and I quote, got analog-like compression behaviour. Now I have no experience with analog compressors because I'm just a software guy, to be honest. There's very little hardware in this studio here. But it'd be nice to hear it against some possibly analog kind of remake compressor plugins that are kind of just imitating the real thing. So I'll get hold of some of them and we'll look at them side by side and just see how it works and how it performs. And finally, pumping. It's for all you EDM artists out there, electronic dance music, whatever genre you're producing. I think it'd work well in dubstep, it's going to work well in main house, main room house, shall I say, and yeah, any style, which it's over the top compression is what it is. So that's going to be a fun one to look at, especially processing some drums. So that's covering all of the styles, and we'll look at them in a little bit more detail in the next few videos. So if you want to see some of them, subscribe, like, drop us a comment. And I'm also posting more things on my Facebook page again, so that's probably the best place to go, and Instagram. They're the two main places I post most of my content. If you want me to see me anywhere else, please let me know, and feel free to send me an email. I've had a few requests, so I'm doing these videos in between planning, recording some videos. I haven't forgot about you guys who have asked questions in the last few weeks. It's just been a little bit busy and had a few personal problems, so it's why I've not really been on top of it straight away, but I'm back now, so let's get on it and let's get these videos out there to everybody that needs to know, because you guys are fantastic. So thank you for watching. If you liked it, obviously like, subscribe, share, do as much as you can. It really does help me and it really does push forward these videos. So thank you again, and I'll see you in the next video.